Hey, y'all, you got Bill here. Yeah, I know everyone really likes compare and contrast, and it's my favorite way to teach. It just kind of get your brain going. That's how we're wired. And on Sunday, I showed a first-time home buyer 14 houses in one day, and it really got me thinking about 2020, 21, 22. And man, there is no way we would have been able to look at 14 houses in one day. There weren't even 14 houses on the market across a large area that would fit their needs. So this buyer's looking in that Garland, Plano, Richardson area, so they're all kind of right there together. We're able to just pop around, like 5-10 minutes between houses. So wasn't a big deal. But I started thinking about it, man. Back in 2020, 21, 22, it was like someone would start telling me the kind of house they want, and all I'm thinking is man, we need to go look at that house right this second, because that home's gonna be on the house like 18 hours. So they're gonna get multiple offers. We gotta go now. And today, that house could sit on the market 3 to 6 months. I mean, it's so much different. The change where buyers are back then, they were having to buy the house they could buy. They would go, and I remember I had one listing, got 42 offers, and then I had this other listing with my buyer. We submitted an offer 70,000 over, like they were asking 600, and we sent it like 670, 675, and there were like 90 offers, and we weren't even in the top 10. It's just insane, and now getting multiple offers on a property would be strange for us. So the buyer then was just they were getting fatigued. They go make these offers and they couldn't get the offer accepted, and that would happen over and over and over again. And then they would just end up buying the house they could buy, and then like a couple years later they're calling us to sell it because it just doesn't make sense. And they shouldn't have bought the house. They just got caught up in the moment. And they just had to. Now you can wait. You can wait and see. Someone tells you they got multiple offers, you can say, "Cool, take one. I'll see if that one sticks." Because there's 14 other houses, and she's got us looking at another like 14 houses this weekend. And there were houses we couldn't see this past weekend just because we didn't have the time. So we're gonna go look at those. We'll look at one or two of the ones that we saw on Sunday, and then there's a bunch more that hit the market, and a bunch more that she just hadn't really even looked at yet. So pick of the litter, y'all. Pick of the litter with these houses. Back then, you couldn't get your FHA or VA offer accepted. There's no way. And there's no way that you could offer at asking price either. It had to be over asking price. And today, I'm to every seller I talk to, hey, the chances of you getting an FHA or VA buyer is very high. So when we do our house walkthrough, that's all we're talking about is VA and FHA appraisal. That's it. And USDA. USDA wasn't even a thing back then. There's no way that I would have considered that as a listing agent then. I'd be like, man, let's just wait on our cash or conventional offer. We don't need to mess with that USDA. Now, bitch, your house better be USDA ready. Back then, to ask for seller concessions was a crazy thing. Like my buyer needs a little help from the seller for their closing costs. There ain't no way that sellers want you to pay full price and then some for their house, and they're wanting you to buy them a cruise. Like that's the way their minds were. And here today, some of these builders, they're emailing me telling me, hey, we'll give you a 4% buyer agent commission and a $15,000 buyer bonus. Like, so I get an extra percent and $15,000 on top. It's insane. This is madness. But sellers now, they're having to give away their house a lot of times, especially if it's been sitting on the market for a long time. And homeowners are literally having to compete with these builders that are subsidizing every step of the way. They can give these crazy incentives out, and why would a buyer not want to go engage that and lower their payment? And it's just a bunch of craziness. But if you're a buyer right now, great time to go out there and get you a deal on a house. They're out there. There's definitely deals out there, and sellers can talk tough all day, but once you start negotiating them, they are letting their guard down, and they're making decisions that make sense for them to hit their goal. Ultimately, they just really want to sell the house. That's why people put their house on the market. They have some kind of problem to solve that selling that house is going to solve. And when you're looking at it with FHA, let's say it's 6% interest right now. Back then it was in the threes. Today it's in the sixes. That's another big change. The prices were going up when it was in the threes, and now the prices are going down when it's in the sixes. That gap is pretty significant for you on a monthly payment. But to get your mind right, the best way to look at it is every $1,000 that you borrow costs $6 a month in your principal and interest costs. So do let that guide you. Being able to FHA loan, you can get the seller to give you 6% closing costs. That can be quite a bit of money. Conventional has some rules depending on how much money you put down. VA's got some pretty loose rules with the kind of stuff that you can pay off and the amount that you can contribute as a interested third party. But man, I got a house right now in Garland. It's got solar panels on it. That'll save you like $150,000 a month. $150,000 a month in electric bills. Which if you girl met that into your principal payment, that's like $25,000 off the purchase price of the home. So you set them side by side, one's 300, one's 325, offsetting that electric bill. It's the same payment. So having someone that can help you think through things like this and analyze these deals differently, because the purchase price isn't always the only deal with these loans. But anyway, 14 houses in one day, pretty crazy. Shout out to my assistant. That is almost impossible to time from beginning to end. And we didn't miss a house. Everything was on perfect flow, house to house to house. She made it super easy for me. All the details for every house saved right there in my calendar. All I gotta do is touch the address and then GPS takes me there. Top tier, Celeste, top tier. Y'all give us a call if you want to talk real estate.